5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition.
Ignition and lift off.
And liftoff. Liftoff of Falcon Heavy and Psyche on a mission to a metal asteroid in deep space to study the building blocks of our planet's inner space.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Data is looking really good.
Side booster separation confirmed.
Great shot there of the side boosters coming off the rocket.
When boosters return, you're going to be looking way over this way.
Here it comes. Perfect landings for them both.
Psyche payload separation confirmed.
There it is. The Psyche spacecraft going off into deep space. We have a signal that says, hey, I'm here, I'm out in space.
I was invited down to NASA in Cape Canaveral, Florida on October 11th, 2023 for the launch of the Psyche mission as part of their NASA social program, and this truly was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Out of the nearly 800 people that applied to this program, approximately 40 were selected, and after a week-long delay from the originally scheduled launch date, there was only 16 of us that were able to make the event, and man, what an event it was.
Meet some people from the Psyche mission. My name's Allison. I'll get more into that later, but just so you know how to refer to me until we get there, this is Bettina, and enjoy the next couple minutes of sweet, sweet bus rides.
After the initial check-in and getting our credentials, we set off for a couple of days that I won't soon forget. We met with Lindy Elkins-Tanton, the mission's leader and principal investigator, as well as Dr. Lori Leshin, director of the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, where we got to hear about some of the background of the mission, its successes and struggles, and the tremendous amount of effort that led up to this day.
And say we're not going to make this launch, and that's a pretty big deal because the planets only align occasionally, right? Yeah.
We met with Jason Mitchell, director of NASA Space Communications and Navigation, and Jim Bell, who's the lead scientist for Psyche's camera systems.
Hour or two, we will do our final test of cameras on the spacecraft on the pad. Just verifying all the instruments, just give it.
We toured a number of the NASA facilities, including the famed Vehicle Assembly Building, or the VAB, where the rockets are stacked together in preparation for launch.
This is a building that any human who has gone, to the moon, their rocket was assembled here. So all the Apollo missions, 135 space shuttle missions, and now with Artemis returning to the moon. So this building is 525 feet tall. It's technically a single-story building, largest single-story building in the world by volume. Once we cross about the halfway point, you can look pretty much straight up to the roof. Something really cool about this building too is the original architects wanted to build something that was going to be able to last a long time and with different iterations of rockets. So if you were to go up to the roof today, there's actually steel pilings that go all the way through the roof. It's so that if they wanted to, they could take the roof off and make the building taller. And then as we work our way down to where they actually stack the Artemis rocket, you'll see it's all brand new.
We learned about and even crawled inside of the MRAPs, which are the armored vehicles used for emergency evacuation from the launch pad if necessary.
When you found out you were coming to Kennedy and you were going to learn all about space flight and see rockets and spacecraft and stuff like that, you probably did not think of a 21-ton armored vehicle playing a role in human spaceflight.
We visited the launch pad where the Falcon Heavy rockets just stood towering above us, awaiting the go for launch. We saw the press site. We got a sneak preview of where we'd be standing for the launch, and we even got to see the famous doors that the astronauts walk out of before a mission into space. All right, these are the famous doors that all the astronauts get to walk out of before every mission, and we get to do it just for fun, so here we go. We get to learn about the crawler that carries the rockets down to the launch pad from one of the drivers and even walk underneath it. I mean, this thing is absolutely massive, as you might expect from something capable of carrying 18 million pounds.
We can actually move 1/8 of an inch if you need to move 1/8 of an inch. That's how slow and accurate we can be.
It was built with a slide rule, like those tiny little rulers, and then when they had to go back and make changes, they had to bring out a slide rule again and do it, and that's awesome.
So we just stepped into this room. I was fairly certain that this was going to be a Q&A panel. panel about the mission, but it might just be to cool down. I'm not entirely sure. It's outrageous amount outside, so we'll see. Doesn't matter. It's cold in here. It's wonderful.
We sat behind the scenes during the pre-mission press conference. We attended a social panel where we got to hear and ask questions of some of the NASA team members. We even got to hang out with Bob Cabana, a former NASA astronaut and veteran of 4 space shuttle flights.
I've been with NASA for 35 years. I started out as an astronaut, and now I'm at pretty close to the top. Psyche is an awesome mission studying a heavy metal asteroid. But what I'm really excited about is a technical experiment that we have on board called Deep Space Optical Comm, DSOC. And it uses lasers to communicate with Earth. We've done it from the moon, we've done it in low Earth orbit, we've done it from a geosynchronous orbit. But this is the first time that we'll actually be doing communications using lasers from deep space, and that's going to be huge in order to communicate a lot of data rapidly. So, looking forward.
And he seemed pretty excited about this mission to a metal world.
Heavy metal world!
Suffice to say, the first day was a bit of a blur, but with this level of access, it was an incredible experience to say the least. Through all of it, there were moments where you just had to stop and take it all in and revel in the fact that all of these incredible feats of engineering and perseverance are really just shining examples of the things humans can accomplish while working together toward a common goal. In this case, it was the launch of a spacecraft built over many years by hundreds of people to be propelled into space on a 2.2 billion mile journey over the next 6 years to reach and study a metal-rich asteroid that lies between Mars and Jupiter. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. And that journey begins tomorrow. But that won't be happening. So the launch for today got scrubbed by the NASA team last night. We got an email saying there was unfavorable weather conditions for today, so they scrubbed it entirely. Changed the planned launch date for tomorrow, Friday, at 10:19 a.m. Eastern Time. 40% favorable chances as of right now. If that falls through, we've got currently a 70% chance of favorable conditions on Saturday. So, instead of watching a rocket launch today, I'm going to be a tourist and take advantage of the free day to go explore the Kennedy Space Center visitor complex. Day 3, Friday the 13th. The weather's looking somewhat better, and we're hopeful that today is actually the launch day. All right, so it's about 6:30 a.m. Got up at 5 o'clock this morning, got things ready, got packed, got all set for the day. Not really feeling the greatest. I'm pretty tired at this point. My sleep schedule's all off. But it is launch day. Again, we're going to try this one more time. 10:19 a.m. Eastern Time. Psyche mission is set to launch. Weather, as of last night, was about 40% favorable. This morning, we're hearing things are looking a little bit better and improving, so fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. We'll head over there, get badged, get checked in, and get over to the launch site. Today starts the same. Check in at the badging office, get credentials, hop on the bus, and head over to the press site. We arrived early, plenty of time to spare to walk around a bit, get our bearings, set up our gear, and just hang out for the next hour under Florida's oppressive heat and humidity. It was in this hour that reality began to set in. Despite the countless hours of reading, researching, watching YouTube videos, chatting with other space photographers, it suddenly became real. I have absolutely no idea how to photograph a rocket launch.
I think what we just heard there from Madison completely confirms that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing with photographing a rocket launch. Competent photographer otherwise. Sienna?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Same thing?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I've never even watched a rocket launch, but I watched 5 last night on YouTube, so...
And that's how we're all figuring this out as we go.
But in a lot of ways, it didn't matter. I was there to witness the launch in person, to see the fire from the engines blaze as bright as the sun, literally. To feel the sound of the rockets in my chest, and despite knowing it was coming, to be completely startled by the sound of the sonic booms.
15 seconds?
And it was all of that and more. A couple of people in the group burst into tears as the rocket launched. It just further proving that this entire experience is just so hard to put into words. But it was certainly one that I'll be thinking about for a very long time. And to top it all off, I was actually quite pleased with some of the photos. So in the end, sincerely thank you, NASA, for helping fulfill a childhood dream.